94 siblings and counting.
I don't deny that there was a sexual violation, but legally, there's just no crime that touches this particular act.
The story of the Zionsville fertility doctor that used his own sperm on unsuspecting women, documented in a new film just released. Our Father is a film about secrets and deception of Dr. Donald Klein, and a story I broke 7 years ago. It's also a story about consent, though, and what does that really mean? Lawyer and Indiana University professor Jodi Madeira is in this new documentary. She's an expert in the field, and she joins us now live this morning. Made it through 2 big crashes and a backup, so I'm so glad you made it. Let's start there. We heard Mr. Delaney talking about basically there's no crime that he could go after here. It's the #1 question I get. Where is Dr. Klein? Why is he not in jail? How do you answer that, and could he have been charged with something?
So I think when you're talking about consent, you're really talking about consent to a medical procedure as well as consent to how that medical procedure is performed. And of course, whose sperm is used is obviously a material consideration. If your husband's sperm is supposed to be used, that's very different than a donor. But even if you're going to use a donor, the very fact that the donor is anonymous does not excuse the fact that it's not supposed to be your doctor, someone who touches you intimately. So none of these procedures ever involved consent, as we would think of it.
Yeah. So could he have been, like, if you were the prosecutor, would you, looking back now, let's say you're at the place now where you know different things than maybe we did a long time ago, could you have charged Dr. Klein with something else?
It would have been very difficult, I think, to find a crime that stuck, as well as the obstruction of justice charges, but the obstruction of justice charges do not map onto the gravity of what he did to these families and the trauma. The state is the victim and not the patients, not the children that he refers to as offspring so callously. And so I think that there's criminal deception, but it's a misdemeanor. It doesn't match the gravity of the offenses. In Indiana, you have fraud, but that's really financial fraud. And so I think the only thing that comes to mind, there is a provision in the rape law which states that, basically if the victim is unaware that this is sexual contact, but I think also, Prosecutor Delaney was worried about the difficulty of proving that this was sexual, irrespective of the act that Klein had just done to produce the sample.
Yeah, and when you look at the movie now and you look and you think, golly, how was it not sexual? I mean, it was hard to take that out of it. And one thing that really goes to that is when you see toward the end of the film where his biological daughter is his patient. And he knows that that's his daughter, and he is giving her a physical exam. Is that not criminal? I mean, almost to the effect of you start thinking of things of molestation. Is that, am I way out on that?
Well, I think it's all criminal, but this is especially egregious. And, I do think that the underlying acts were manifestly sexual because he's under the effects of a sex act by producing the sample at the time he conducts the insemination. And again, where does the sexual touching stop and the clinical touching begin? But this is an entirely new level, and it's a sexual deviance, right? Because again, he has that knowledge, and that knowledge is material to her. And yet he's touching her intimately, intimating that he is in fact a stranger, and a genetic stranger, a social stranger, and of course, that's not the truth.
What do you want people to know? I mean, you've written a book about this. You're an expert in this field. You've actually interviewed the siblings. You're in the film. What do you think is the most important thing for viewers that are hearing you now, are going to see the film? What do you want them to know? I
want them to know how traumatic and how, desperately egregious this act was. And so, this is just one of several cases, not only in the United States, but around the world. And we have other doctors who did what he did, other doctors who go on to examine their adult children, and, many, many different wrinkles in these fact patterns. And no one asks for this. The fact that there are children who are loved, who are conceived, does not excuse what happened. The fact that this is a doctor and not, although it's classist, a janitor, we hear that argument frequently. That doesn't excuse it. And so it's very important to hold these doctors accountable as it would be for any other form of sexual assault or rape.
I only have 30 seconds, but there are 2 other questions I get a lot. Civilly, can they sue civilly under the past law and the time of this happened, and do they have, can they sue?
There's a question of whether the law is retroactive. I believe that there's a good argument that it is, and if so, there's a very easy process of just amending it to make it retroactive, which I think is very good just to clarify. The other question, I think, is, you know, absolutely these lawsuits are still open. Most individuals, especially if they found out in the last 5 years, would still be within that time period.
Thank you, Jody. We appreciate it. So good to see you again, as always. A wealth of knowledge. And again, if you haven't seen Our Father, Jody's also in it, and it's on Netflix now. Daniel.
All right. Thank you so much.